of us is, namely myself, is a multi-platform gamer at the moment. Uh, what I mean is, I game primarily on PC and PS5, and also a bit on Xbox Series X and Steam Deck. Yeah, so, and the other host is a PS5 exclusive gamer. So, we are gonna discuss the pitfalls and advantages of gaming on multiple platforms at the same time
Mm.
versus a singular platform. And should you, the listener, adopt a singular platform strategy or a multi-platform one? So yeah, let's get right into it. So a brief context about myself before we move on to my co-host. Uh, I've been gaming for 30 years. I'm in my late 30s, so I have I have gamed on pretty much every platform out there, except the niche ones. I haven't actually gamed on the Dreamcast or the failed Sega Saturn console, was it? But yeah, I've gamed on the NES, the Sega Genesis, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Color, the PCs, the PS2s, the PS3s, 4s, 5s, Xboxes, etc., etc. So, but at the moment, right now, with a day job, with a family, with a kid, I am still more than capable of gaming on multiple platforms. I know it's quite a struggle to manage it, but yeah, I keep shifting from PC to PS5 and sometimes Xbox, and when I'm traveling, I use my Steam Deck. Although you could club PC and Steam Deck, but I like
Mm.
to separate out those two. Mm, yeah, and my co-host, he is basically on the PS5, but yeah, I'll let him provide more context to it. So, yeah, over to you.
Yeah, so that was a nice backstory. I'll start with mine as well. Even I started about 30 years ago, and I was about the age of 3 when my dad got me this NES console, and yeah, that changed everything for me. First game was Mario. So after that, we never looked back, and yeah, for a long time I had NES, and then my first console was PlayStation 2. That was like way later. Like no, that was PS1, sorry. My mistake. That
Mhm,
was around 2006 or 7. And I never got to play on consoles like Sega Genesis, but we used to go out and play at the game parlors a lot on those consoles. And then yeah, mostly bought all the PlayStations. I was always been a I've always been a Sony fanboy sort of person.
mhm,
Started with PS1, right now I'm on PS5 Pro. So even had a Xbox at one point of time. Even bought the latest generation one, but it was very hard to manage two platforms and yeah, I had to sell it away. And right now I'm gaming mostly on my PlayStation 5. Sometimes like maybe once a year or twice a year I just touch my Switch to check the whatever's going on. That's it right now. But back in the day, I used to game a lot on PC as well. I have more than 10,000 hours on Dota, more than 4,000 hours on Counter Strikes and Team Fortress 2 combined. Yeah, so I have been also sort of a multi-platform person, but last 4 or 5 years, I've been winding down on just PlayStation. So yeah, there are a lot of perks and cons of pros and cons of being on the either side of the gaming spectrum to say.
mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's mostly uh yeah, that's everything.
All right. Yeah, so the topic of contention today, should you be
Hmm.
multi-platform or should you confine yourself to a single one and go for the easier option? Mm. So, um, the first, I've written certain chapters or topics down that I wish
Hmm.
to discuss with my co-host. So, the
Hmm.
first one is is gaming supposed to be fun or optimized or min-maxed? So when you hear about someone like me who kind of bounces off between PC, a PS5, a Steam Deck, or an Xbox, the first thought that comes to mind is most of these guys' consoles or the PC would either be catching dust, eating dust half the time, since
Mm,
you do tend to pick favorites and stick to it, right? So if you have like if you like keyboard and mouse better, or you have like 1,000 games on Steam, since Steam
right.
sales tend to be more frequent and quite cheaper
Mm,
than a console, at least here with regional pricing. So
mm,
the first thought that anyone listening to this might be that this guy's Xbox or PS5 might be catching dust,
mm,
but I don't tend to avoid that. I don't really leave my consoles hanging for months and months too long. My
mm-hmm,
general strategy is to have play at least one story single player game on every platform a few months, and I
mm,
do play like one single player per platform.
mm,
And I never play more than two platforms at a time. So if I am playing, let's say, a Final Fantasy Rebirth or a Final Fantasy Remake on PS5, I might be
mm,
playing an indie game on an
mm,
indie story-based game on PC. But I am not going
right.
to play on PC, Xbox, and PS5 in the same week or in the same month because I cannot juggle more than two games at a time,
Mm,
and I do prefer PC slightly more than PS5 simply because I have around 900 games on Steam thanks to
right.
bundles and sales and
Mm,
everything, and PS5 tends to be just for the big blockbuster games that either are timed exclusives like Death Stranding in the first year,
mm,
and I can always sell back the DVD and get some cash back on the second-hand
mm,
market. On PC, you are
right.
pretty much stuck with a Steam key, and you cannot really refund it if you have played more
Mm,
than 2 hours. So the I would say I do enjoy the flexibility of switching between platforms and mixing it up, and
mm,
I enjoy both keyboard, mouse, and controller equally,
mm,
and which is why I don't really like to confine myself to a single platform. It keeps things fresh, basically. And
right.
yeah, and
Mm,
if there nowadays there is no exclusivity in gaming since Sony has decided and Xbox has decided to port everything everywhere, at least on
mm,
PC. So
right.
yeah, but when exclusivity was a thing, you pretty much
Mm,
needed multiple platforms. Like you needed an Xbox to play Halo or Forza. You needed
mm,
a PS to play God of War, and there were PC exclusives were very rare, but initially the
mm,
stalker games were only on PC for like a decade. So and
mm,
uh, some a few games like Diablo or Civilization in the beginning weren't on consoles. I'm not sure. I
mm,
might be wrong about Civilization. The games that needed mouse the most, like Roller Coaster Tycoon. If anyone is listening and is
yeah.
a retro gaming fan, Roller Coaster Tycoon was a PC exclusive. You basically needed a mouse to play it. So yeah, that's how I like it to be honest, and that's how I manage multiple platforms.
Mm.
Yeah. So what about you, Mr. Single Platform Gamer?
So yeah, I think it's pretty much easy when you have everything on the same platform, right?
Mhm,
For me, it's very simple. I have all the PlayStation 4 and PS5 discs with me, so I just pop in the disc whatever I want to play. It saves so much time rather than you have to down. And I don't even need internet all the time. Just in case if my internet's not good, it's slow or for whatever reason. So that's one of the easiest things on consoles. And second thing
mhm,
is the controller. I love it. The DualSense controller is really good. It's heavy on your hand, and
mhm,
I personally feel it's more comfortable when you're sitting on your bed or couch or whatever, and just
mhm,
relaxing from far away rather than sitting upright position like I used to Dota a lot, right? So
mhm,
I used to sit on my chair, and it used to get tiring after some time, you know. That's one of the
Yeah.
things. And secondly, since you talked about the exclusivity, which is also one of the biggest things, I'm still on my PlayStation. Exclusivity still exists. Like it's not completely gone. The way you were talking, it felt like it's completely gone, but it's not. It's still there, but it's like the timely thing has been reduced a lot recently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's also one of the things because I'm not somebody who can wait for a sale, you know, once the game is
Mm-hmm.
out. If Yota is out, I need it on the first day. If
Mm-hmm.
some other the Wolverine's coming this year, so I cannot wait for a sale, you know, until that game I get my hands on that game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so time exclusivity will also affect me if I'm a PC gamer.
Yeah.
And these are few of the reasons. And besides that, recently, almost every game is really nicely optimized for PlayStation for some reason. Maybe it's you know, main choice of the developers at this point of time for optimization. Even that's also one of the reasons. You don't need to wait for so many patches, uh,
Mm-hmm.
like you do for some games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Why I love being on PlayStation rather than being on multi-platform.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, that's all. But since you raised a point about controllers, I have a question. Which is your most favorite, you know, controller or way to play a game right now? Is it mouse and keyboard, Xbox controller, or PlayStation 5 controller?
I like to keep my controllers exclusive to the console they're with, and Steam supports every controller in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Even Steam
Mm-hmm.
even supports the Nintendo Joy-Cons.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
they
good to
do.
know.
Yeah, I
Mm.
I think I read somewhere they even support the older Nintendo Wii controllers also, the
Wow.
the motion ones. Yeah,
Right,
It's
right,
re-
right. The V.
yeah.
Yes.
They control they support the DualShock 3, the DualShock 4, the DualSense.
Mm-hmm.
The Xbox 360 and the Xbox controllers are pretty much the same anyways. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, for PC, for certain games where they recommend you to use controllers like the Souls-like games,
Hmm.
I cannot play Souls-likes on keyboard and mouse. A lot of people do.
Hmm.
It's pretty one because I played Dark Souls on
Hmm.
PS3 and I cannot just uh,
Hmm.
change that mindset of playing with a controller
Right.
for Souls likes. So for
But
PC, I have purchased a separate controller. It's a
mm-hmm.
company called 8-Bit Do.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
it's one of the best third-party controllers in the market.
Hmm.
And yeah, the look and feel and the tactile experience of them is extremely good, and they are Hall effect controllers. So
Mm-hmm.
they are less prone to stick drift, which is another
Okay.
annoying thing on consoles.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Especially the new PlayStation 5 ones. They're really, really bad with the drifting.
yeah. So
Yeah. The one I
the
got with my PlayStation Pro recently, it's already drifting. Sorry, yeah, you
yeah,
were saying something.
the PS controllers, they are potentiometer based, and
Hmm.
there is something called as a Hall effect controller.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think PlayStation 5 third-party controllers do exist with Hall effect. So you might want to look that up.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
they are
Hmm.
extremely less prone to stick drift.
Okay.
So yeah, after this podcast, you might want to look up something called as Hall effect controllers for PS5.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Surely, but again, uh, you know, you did not answer the question, which is your, I'm not saying platform wise, if you just have to pick one, other
Uh,
things other things go away. So, yeah,
yeah. So
what would that be?
my favorite way to play is obviously mouse and keyboard, except for
Okay.
Souls likes. But the dual sense is a close second because of the
Okay.
haptic feedback features that only
Hmm.
DualSense has.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Hmm. Since you are gaming on multiple platforms, does it mean like you have so many more options, or is it like more confusing at some point of time?
Yeah. So as I said, I play in a way that it does not get overwhelming. I do not jump between platforms a lot. I pick a story-based single-player game on a platform, and I usually run through it until the end, or whether that's finishing the story or all the achievements or whatever, and then I move on to another platform, so that the platform does not collect dust. And
Hmm.
yeah, so I would be playing the Outer Worlds for a month on PC, and then I would move
Hmm.
on to PS5 playing Spider-Man 2 or Final Fantasy, and then
Hmm.
and if it's a big RPG like this Final Fantasy, so I would play it for around 60 to 90 days, and then move on to an
Hmm.
Xbox, and then play Avowed or the Outer Worlds 2 on Game Pass.
Hmm.
I would
Hmm.
subscribe on it for a month and
Hmm.
play the game and then unsubscribe on it and then move on back to
Hmm.
PC for another game.
Right.
So
Hmm.
that's my strategy. There is a bit of I don't know what the word. Let me give it a word. There's a bit of lag or jet lag when you
Hmm.
move
Hmm.
between
Hmm.
platforms because the control
Hmm.
schemes are quite different.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
Xbox has an X on the left and the PS has an X on the lower side on the bottom.
Yeah.
So
Bottom. Yeah.
I do end up screwing up the QTE events sometimes.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Uh, but over the years I have gotten used to it. So
Nice.
there is a bit
Mm,
of struggle involved. Yeah,
right. No, I was just going to point out, like these days, even QT events are like very less often in games,
yeah,
right? Like back in 2010, around that period, like every game used to have so many QTEs, but
yeah,
now it's like, yeah, it's a dying thing right now in gaming, if you'd ask me.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
you're
used to
playing
enjoy
a
them a lot.
Souls-like, if you're playing a Souls-like Elden Ring, pressing the
Mm,
wrong X button can be a matter of
yeah,
trying it a dozen more times.
and yes, 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 you're right. Right. Hmm. Nice.
So you do not have this problem, right? You don't need to switch between mouse and keyboard and Xboxes and dual senses and whatnot. So you must have been gotten pretty slick with that dual sense you got, right?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, since last 3, 4 years, I've been completely on PlayStation. So it's been pretty, easy rather than doing the multi-platform thing. But I would also like to add back when I used to have multiple platforms as well, Xbox and PC and PlayStation at the same time. I used to jump around a lot. So I used to play so much on every platform every day and never used to get that confusion. You know
Mm-hmm,
what I mean? Because my
mm-hmm,
PC was mostly for online games like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, Dota 2,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and my Xbox was mostly for games like FIFA, Gears of War sometimes, and
mm-hmm.
there were my favorite Xbox game of all time is Fable 2. So never
Mm-hmm.
struggled with that as well. And
Good.
PS was mostly for games like Uncharted and other amazing PlayStation exclusive games, which we should
Mm-hmm,
also do an episode about, like the best exclusives on Sony. That would
mm-hmm.
be a nice episode to do. Yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Yes. I imagine it's much easier having a single
Yeah,
controller in the house
comparatively.
and not having to have a whole drawer of different type of controllers.
So yeah, since you have so many platforms to jump around with, so do you ever struggle with your backlog? I mean, it must be really hard. You're buying on every platform. So yeah, tell us about that.
Okay, so yeah, it has been a struggle in that sense. I usually get caught up in the Steam winter and summer sales. I am subscribed to the game deals subreddit and the Steam subreddit. They have a Steam sale mega thread during every sale. I
Mm.
I go there and I see a lot of suggestions and I have my own Steam wish list. Even though
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy as much as I used to since now I have a day job and a family and I don't really have the time as much as I used to, but
Mm-hmm.
I end up buying at least uh 6 to 10 a half a dozen games every sale. I
Hmm.
used to buy at one point of time I used to buy around 20 every Steam sale
My God.
and I used to
So how
finish
often you do
around
you have the sale? Sorry, I'm cutting you off. How often do they have sale on Steam for listeners who
Steam,
don't know?
Has sales all year round, but the big ones are the summer, winter, and the autumn sales. Um,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
so I'm pretty sure every gamer under the sun knows about this, since they yeah, they are so big right now that they even have a trailer for every Steam sale now. For every Steam winter and summer sale, they have a trailer on YouTube. So and
Right.
they have
Hmm.
this Lord Gaben memes everywhere you see.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, I have like around 950 games on Steam, but I
Hmm.
do have 48% completion rate, which under the circumstances isn't so bad. And
Right. It's pretty good.
si- I have 68 100% completed games on Steam,
Mm-hmm.
so that's not so bad, right? But yeah. Uh,
That's pretty good.
so I So yeah, my backlog keeps ballooning up due to gaming on multiple platforms. But and there is a separate section called Steam verified games now, Steam Deck verified games. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a Steam Deck too. So when I'm about to go to sleep, I usually play the Steam Deck for an hour or so, or when
Hmm.
I'm traveling for work or whatever. So I
Mm-hmm.
do tend to play the Steam Deck verified games, the ones that
Hmm.
run perfectly fine on Steam Deck, by the way. And I that has affected my purchasing choices. So,
Mm-hmm.
and not to mention the I have a library backlog on PS and Xbox as well. Less on Xbox because I most of my Xbox playtime is from Game Pass, so I just subscribe to it for a month. I play the game that I want to, and I
Hmm.
unsubscribe in a month. But given the recent price hikes, I don't think I'll subscribe to Game Pass anymore. It's just not
Right.
worth it.
So is your
Uh,
Xbox eating dust right now?
it kind of is, but I do intend to fire it back up and play the Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster.
Right.
But then I'm on a timer and I have to finish it within 30 days, and that's like a
Hmm.
100 or 200 hour game if you plan to do everything plus the DLCs.
Mm-hmm.
So that is kind of difficult with a family and a day job, but yeah,
Absolutely.
it's in
Hmm.
the um, it's on my
Hmm.
bucket list right now. I need to juggle
Hmm.
between these platforms. So yeah,
Hmm.
the to your original point, backlog is kind of a big issue when
Hmm.
you're gaming on multiple consoles.
Hmm.
So, but that's just every gamer, right? Yeah, I'm sure even though you are on a single console, I'm sure you have a huge backlog too, right?
Yes, since you might wonder like if somebody's on a single platform, they won't have a black backlog, but no, it's not like that. For someone like me, I have backlog of more than I would say more than 50 games in my library at this point of time.
Hmm.
There are so many games which I haven't even touched. I bought them on day one, never got a time to play them. So yeah, and somebody who I mean, I was somebody who used to pre-order every game.
Hmm.
If they show a trailer, the trailer looks good, I would just pre-order. Sometimes
Hmm.
even with the name, if it's a big name like Yota or something. Yota is the most recent one, so that's the one I'm repeating again and again. So yeah, I would just pre-order instantly. And also the RGG games. I'm a big fan of RGG games. So every game they reveal or it's on the pre-order, I just do it instantly without even looking back.
Yeah,
So a lot of RGG.
for our
Hmm.
listeners, RGG is the Yakuza Like a Dragon game studio.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ryuga Gotoku.
yeah,
I hope I pronounce it correctly. So
yeah.
yeah, RGG games. I have a big collection of those games. Some of them are still in the sealed condition, never open. That's also sort of backlog, right? Because I never played them. And there are so many other games. Even a lot of the games there are some good games in PlayStation Extra as well. They are also sitting there. Yeah, and one more thing which is also increasing the backlog at this point of time, it's not just the sales. There are so many new games releasing, and you
Hmm.
want to play almost every game. you just end up buying or downloading or whatever. But since life is so busy with work and other responsibilities, it's hard to manage time and play everything you can. Sometimes you want to play with your friends, you just play a fun game like Night Train, which is very fun to play game if you have a bunch of friends to go around with.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, and also games like Arc Raider, it's pretty chill.
Mhm.
You don't need to think so much. You can start the game right anytime with your friends. Uh, yeah, that's also kind of elevating the backlog situation at this point of time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So we talked about backlog a lot. So next question is, how do we, I think we have answered a lot of it as well in our last question. How do you manage time after 30s? You know, you have your wife, you have your kid, you have so many platforms. It must be way tougher for you compared to somebody like me. So yeah, tell our listeners, like, how do you do it and how does it affect your game time and backlog and other things?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. The only way I'm able to do it is by skipping multiplayer entirely. But I was never really
That takes effort.
I, I was never a fan of multiplayer. The only multiplayer games I have played in my life are Payday 2
Mm-hmm.
and GTA Online. And I
Mm-hmm.
outgrew both of them after like a month or 6 months or around a year.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot repeat the same missions forever. I just outgrew them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so my strategy is just to is to stay focused, not get
Right.
distracted by the huge backlog or the huge library on whatever platform. I just
Mm-hmm.
play a story-based single player game and I see
Mm-hmm.
it through the end on a platform.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to touch other platforms until I have finished a game on a singular platform first before jumping on to another one. But if I do make an exception, as I said, I would be playing Final Fantasy or Spider-Man on PS and an indie game. I'd avoid playing two AAA titles at the same time on two separate consoles or PC or whatever. I avoid doing that. So I would be playing Spider-Man 2 on the PS5, some game like Stardew Valley or any indie game you could imagine, Balatro or whatever on
Mm-hmm.
PC, and some visual novel like Danganronpa or Ace Attorney on Steam Deck at night. So
Mm-hmm.
I play games that don't really uh, confuse me in a way. Uh, I keep them diverse enough. Like I would be playing a fast-paced game like Spider-Man 2 or Borderlands, but I would also be playing a visual novel at night before going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way to do it. Don't play AAA games at the same time, multiple. And yeah, play one indie, play a AAA, play a visual novel, play an FPS, or play a turn-based game. Even when I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing a masterpiece like Expedition,
Right.
in the evening or in the afternoon, whatever, if I'm working from home, I would still be
Mm-hmm.
reading a visual novel, which is just
Mm-hmm.
text basically with some
Right.
images at night at
Mm-hmm.
11 a.m. at 11 p.m. before sleeping. So I am playing on multiple platforms, but I'm also keeping it light and
Mm-hmm.
not frying my brain with instant gratification like Instagram and
Right.
TikTok does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my strategy to manage time as a gamer dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you are not a dad at this moment, but you are in your mid 30s,
Yeah.
and so with your life situation, I would hand it over to you to explain how do you, even though you play on a single platform, how do you
Mm-hmm.
manage life in the mid 30s with a full-time job
Right.
and everything? Yeah.
Yes. For someone who's living alone, there are a lot of other things to take care of, right? Like we have to manage our food, we have to manage our dishes, laundry, groceries, and there are a lot of other things. So I'm in almost as some sort of same situation as you are, if you
Hmm.
would ask me.
Hmm.
Even though I don't have kids or even not even married, but still there are other responsibilities to take care of.
Hmm.
So how I play is like very simple. My job starts at around 11ish, so I get up around 7 or 8. I start my day with PlayStation. That's the first thing I do. I just turn it on, and then I go and freshen up and return to my console once it's completely on. And yeah, I start my day with 1 hour of PlayStation, and then I have my breakfast, and then another 30 minutes or 1 hour of PlayStation before going to work. And after returning, the first thing I do is turn on my console before I go for the dinner. And yeah, and then before sleeping, an hour or two of that as well. So this is how I just, uh, since there's only one console, there's not so much to worry about. It's just
Hmm.
like my own responsibilities that are taking a lot of time besides work.
Hmm.
And yeah, but if you'd ask me what I'm playing in those times, it depends. If I have my friends who are online, I would play something multiplayer. I'm not a multiplayer gamer, like to be honest, no, not a serious multiplayer gamer. I'm mostly into single player games. But
Hmm.
these days, since last couple of weeks, I would say, I've been into multiplayer a lot.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much everything. If somebody's online, I would start something that's multiplayer, Arc Raiders or Night Rain or something. Otherwise, I would just play something that's on my backlog. Currently, for now, I'm playing Chronos. Amazing game. It's a really good game. It's over the shoulder shooter game. It's almost same to Resident Evil games. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so yeah, the idea of having everything on a centralized console on a single platform does sound appealing at times. I do get some,
It is. Yeah.
if you know the concept of choice paralysis, where you are kind of paralyzed on what choice to choose. In my case, which game to play on which platform. So
Hmm.
there's two layers of choices right there. So
Right.
there's three different or two different backlogs, and there's four different uh,
Hmm.
platforms to play. I do
Hmm.
spend sometimes hours thinking of which game
What
to
to
play.
play?
I scroll through the libraries. I go to my profile. I go to the libraries, and it's
Hmm.
just yeah. So there's pros and cons to everything, right? But yeah, I do
Hmm.
enjoy jumping from one console to another. Yeah, that was pretty much it. We kind of laid out all the struggles and the pitfalls and the advantages that we had. We do have differing styles and different, because we lived pretty much different lives. One of us has a wife and kid and a day job. The other one is kind of in survival mode. He has to take care of himself and everything. So, and we are in our late 30s, so go figure. Uh, One last thing before we leave you, the listener, we would like to suggest, in case you might be wondering which strategy would suit you well. Well, there's no one solution for every guy on the planet or every gamer on the planet. So I would suggest, from my experience, Um, if you are someone who just wants a mental peace and a centralized location for all your games, and you come home from work, you don't want to have some sort of choice paralysis on whether you want to sit on the gaming chair or whether you want to sit on the sofa or the bed. Just buy one, whatever you feel like, and stick to it. Trust me, it's way more easier having a single platform of your choice. And if you'll travel a lot, go with a portable option like a deck or a Switch. And there's other options as well. MSI and ASUS have jumped into the console market, portable console market. And there's Rogue Ally. I've heard it's pretty good. Uh, And if you're someone who likes to tinker a lot, you like going into the save files, editing stuff, adding mods to your game, and you want basically if you want free multiplayer, so PC is the best option you could have. So yeah, there's no key fits all lock kind of solution over here. But yeah, I'll leave you with these thoughts, uh, unless Nighthawk has something to add.
I think you have covered almost everything, and I don't think I can put it in better words than you
Hmm.
did already. But if I
Hmm.
have to add, I would just say like do whatever you like. Like if you prefer going multi-platform, yeah, that's good on you. If you like to stay on one console, it can be PlayStation, it can be Xbox. Even Xbox is good, you know. Go with that. Whatever fits into your lifestyle and your schedule, that's perfect way to do it. And
Hmm.
all we love to do is gaming. It doesn't matter the way you do it. Uh, I think yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening to us today, and please make sure you drop a comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.